So I'm hearing this a lot. Clients want to hire someone, but they don't have enough money. And I get this a lot. It's like, I have to do everything myself. I have to be the bookkeeper, the administrator, and do the actual job, fulfill for my clients, be the biz dev person. I have to do it all. I have to wear all the hats because I don't have anyone, because I don't have the money to hire help. I just like to cut to the chase and say that that is not the case. And we need to stop telling ourselves that. How about that? Stop telling yourself that you don't have the funds or you don't have the resources to hire someone. You're like, no, seriously. I'm looking at my accounting, my ledger, my bank account, I don't have it. Okay, let's have that conversation. Let's talk about, where is it? Where are the funds? What if I told you that as an entrepreneur, your job is to create? The very business that you're building did not exist outside of you. So pretty much you created that business out of nothing. It wasn't there before. What you brought to the table, it did not exist outside of you. So you created that. So if you can create an entire business, you can definitely create or leverage funds to hire a person. Your creative process doesn't stop now that you're doing the thing. In fact, it's supposed to increase. You're supposed to do more creating. This is the life of an entrepreneur, figuring it out and making it happen. But I hear a lot of people say, one day when I make X amount of dollars, I'll be able to hire help. I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Let me explain what I mean. I wrote down in my journal, I am learning that accountability is a bigger motivator than hardship. Many people fight harder for someone else than they will for themselves. What do I mean? Like, where does this all come in? Well, here it is. You think about a person without a child, doesn't have children to take care of, right? Believe it or not, employers have figured out that they like to hire people with families because those family members are accountable to their family. So this is what I mean. A mother that comes into work, she's coming into work not necessarily even because she likes it, not necessarily even because she wants to be there, but because she has mouths to feed, because she has to feed her family. The father comes to work because he has to feed the family. They have to keep the lights on. They have to make ends meet to raise their children. Accountability. They are accountable to their children. So it drives them to go to a job they don't like. It drives them to do things they don't want to do because they have mouths to feed. Accountability. Now, if it was just them, let me tell you what happens. You can feel sorry for yourself. You can have a pity party. You could say you're just gonna quit because you're not accountable to anybody. There's nothing outside of you pulling you to do the hard thing, right? Believe it or not, it works in entrepreneurship too. When you have people on the payroll, it drives you to do the hard thing because it's not about just you anymore. It's about all the people that you're held accountable for. The paychecks you have that are practically building their lives on the paycheck that you give them. And that can be scary. That could be one of the reasons why you really don't have someone helping you. I know you're like, no, but I really do want the help. I really do. Maybe you don't. Maybe what it is you're fearful that if you have someone on the payroll, now you have to do the hard thing. Now you have to go out there and make sure that you fish and bring home that fish so everybody in your company can cut it up and eat it. So everybody can be sustained on this business. Maybe it's fear that's holding you back from truly hiring the person that you need. And we need to let go of that. In 2025 especially, we need to let go of that. Let go of that fear if we really want the help, if we really want to grow. Because unless you hire help, you're only gonna grow but so big. I wrote this down. Here's the truth. If you are doing it all alone, you will get only enough for you. But if you have a team, all of a sudden, you'll have enough for everyone. That's how it works. I remember when I was newly married and we were having discussions about when should we have children, when should we not have children. And I remember people coming up to me asking me, like, what are your thoughts? Because they tell me, they'd say, I don't want to have children until I've gotten this amount of money and I've gotten this type of job, or I've made it where I'm financially stable to have children. Now, no one is telling you to go out there and be irresponsible and just have children and don't have money to take care of them. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is sometimes that time comes when you actually have the children, because now you're held accountable and you go out and you do the hard thing. You go out and you put yourself on a ledge where you ask for the raise, or you decide, you know what, I'm going to start my own company because that's where I'm going to be able to truly sustain my family. You will go out and do the hard thing when you have accountability. profitability. Believe it or not, the money will grow as you allow for it to be used and allow for it to grow. It's quite something when it's the funniest thing. So think about work. Have you ever noticed that work never ends, right? Like if you wash the dishes, there are going to be more dishes later for you to wash. Work expands, especially when you're doing all the things, right? If I'm recording some content for you, okay? I'm sitting here recording some content. Out of this content is more content that I now have to record to qualify the content I just did, right? You have an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, now you need apps on the iPhone. Like just having an iPhone created more opportunities, more work, everything for everybody else that built the apps. And now you have this app and then you need the other app to fix that app and all the things. It multiplies when it is used. Believe it or not, when you use your funds to hire people and then those people work, more funds will come in order to hire more people. So when you use the funds for certain things, you're planting those seeds and those seeds multiply. That's the idea. That's why I said, but if you have a team, all of a sudden you'll have enough for everyone. You'll have enough, but you have to do the hard thing and go out there and actually hire someone. Oh, but are there ways I can get around it? Sure. How would you like to stop doing everything yourself and start building a business that works for you and not the other way around? That's why I created the Grow Your Business Challenge, a 4-day experience where I'll guide you step by step to uncover the roadblocks holding you back and teach you how to build a business that runs efficiently and profitably. Click the link below to join the Grow Your Business Challenge now. Let's talk about practical ways you can get your feet wet in hiring someone when you need the help, okay? There are programs where you can get an intern, right? And you don't even have to pay for the intern, to be quite honest. You don't even have to pay for them because there are programs that pay the intern's payroll. But what they're doing is they're just trying to get the intern to have real life experience. Because you know how it is. You want to go for a job, but the job wants you to have experience, but you've never had a job, so you didn't have experience. That's what internship is. That's all it is. In order for you to get experience so that when you go for a job, you can say, hey, I had this experience. And so there are programs locally, statewide, on many levels where you can go and say, hey, I'll take an intern into my company. I'll train them. I'll work with them. And then you don't even have to pay them. There are ups and downs with that. One of the beautiful things about that is you get to train someone and help with their future, and you get some hands-on help. The downsides of it is they're not experienced. They may have book smarts because they're in school. They may have those kinds of things they can bring to the table, but they're not experienced in the real day-to-day grind of business ownership. They're not experienced in a particular area of your business that you may need. You would have to train them. And if you're just starting out where you need someone to come in knowing what they're doing, that might not be something you want to do. I like to suggest those suggestions to companies that are a little more established, where you as the business owner, you don't have to do the training. Someone else, an HR or wherever can do the training for you. And now you can give some opportunities to those that are coming up in the field. Right? But that is one way. That is one way where you don't have to have money and you can have hired help, okay? But I like creative ways. For instance, I like the concept of pre-selling your product or service. What do I mean? So believe it or not, if you have a book, people do this with books all the time. If you have a book that you've written or that you are writing, you can literally put it up for sale before the book is done. Put it up for sale. In fact, I would tell you to put it up for sale before you write it, because if it doesn't sell, I wouldn't waste my time writing it. That part. Okay? So put it up for sale. And then what happens is, as you're writing the book, the funds from that book sale, the pre-sale, you can now hire the help you need to get the book out and then ship them out and continue to sell the book, right? You could do that with services too, not just a product. You know that you're creating a specific service for a specific niche in a specific industry. You can go ahead and approach that niche and say, hey, this is what I'm offering because I'm noticing that this is a problem and I want to solve it. I want to help. And you could say, this is how much it will be. It will be launched in this date, but you have to put down a down payment, or you have to pay for it, and then you'll be able to sign up and we'll onboard you over the next X amount of weeks, X amount of months, whatever the service is. You could do that. And now you have the funds in order to hire the help you need to carry that out. And one would say, well, I don't know because of, the pricing. Yeah, price it with the team in mind. That's what you do. So what you're doing now is you're creating funds to hire someone. But you gotta hire someone if you wanna grow. You cannot grow on your own. You can get far, but you won't get as far as you'd like to on your own. There is something built within us in humanity that makes it where it's accountability that really drives us. Accountability to someone else that really drives us. We're not islands. We were literally created codependent. So another way you can get hired help if you have no funds is partner. Partner with a company that already has the infrastructure in place. A client of mine I was talking with, she has a great product, but she can't mass produce it. And so she's like, I need the help to mass produce it so I could sell it. And one of the ways that we came up with, we said, hey, why don't you partner with who already has the infrastructure in place to create that? Give them a percentage. Do that. In fact, I can't tell you how many small business owners, you can literally hire your lawyers, your accountants, your whoever. A deal is a deal. You can hire them on percentage. Say, hey, I'm starting out, but I really need your services, and this is what I'm gonna do. And can I just give you a percentage of the revenues that come in as payment if you help me with this? That person would go up to, a potential partner and say, hey, you already know how to make this. You already have the machinery, the materials. You already have the people in place. Can you create my product? And I give you a percentage of the proceeds. And do that until you have enough funds to bring everything in-house. Now, if you're gonna do stuff like that, if you're gonna, partner, just make sure all of your property, intellectual property, all your assets for your company are covered legally, so that no one goes stealing your things. Even though I'll be honest with you, I'm noticing that many times people don't want to steal your idea or steal your product. They would have to pivot what they're doing to take over what you're trying to do, but still be protected. Protect your assets, because that's what you're building your business on. So there are ways, absolutely there are ways that you can go ahead and hire someone without having the funds. But it first has to start with you saying, this is not gonna be an excuse for me. No longer am I gonna say not having the money is an excuse for not hiring a person. That goes out the window. We're done with that, because you're an entrepreneur. You actually create for a living. This is what you do, okay? So go out there, let's figure out who's the best person for the job, and let's go hire them. Let's go do it. Now, if you're struggling with like a good framework for picking the right person or choosing the right person, I do have a video that talks about hiring the right person, like a good framework. We could talk about it over there. I need for you to understand that you can truly hire someone, and you do not have to wait until you've hit a certain income level. And I'll tell you another secret. You can hit that income level and still not have the funds to hire a person. Hiring someone is a choice. And when you need it, you can choose it. And when you make that choice, you will create ways in order to make more money to keep that choice sustainable, because accountability truly is a bigger motivator than hardship. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.